It is time to breathe again on the latest breath of fresh air. Shorty! Ooh, now I ain't even know I could hit that high of a note, but this is your host, Charles, for today. Now, as you guys know, last week Patrick Brackett and I went over our college football picks. This week, it is the NFL picks, who we have winning the divisions, and also who the wild cards for us will be. So I'll go ahead and get my picks out here, and we will start with the no, not the NFC. We will start in the AFC and the AFC West to be specific, because the Kansas City Chiefs are the defending Super Bowl champions. Of course, they open the season up Thursday night at home against the Detroit Lions. And looking at this division, I think it's the same story. Uh, the Kansas City Chiefs will win this division. I don't see anybody, whether you're talking about the Los Angeles Chargers, who would be I guess, the trendy pick to maybe dethrone the Chiefs from the division, but I don't see much from them. And then you have the Las Vegas Raiders, who have Jimmy Garoppolo in the fold now, but the Raiders' defense is not that good. They'll score some points if Garoppolo stays healthy, but I don't see them doing too much, and I don't see Denver doing too much either. I know they have Sean Payton there, and I know Russell Wilson is supposed to have some sort of re rebounding year. But even if he does, I don't see it being enough. And personally, I don't think Russell Wilson is that great anyway. So I know there's a lot of hype there with Sean Payton coming in, but I don't. I just don't see much from Denver. Uh, Possible if their defense can play up to par, maybe they can get to second or third in that division, but no one's beating the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelsey, the defense is good enough. That's always the story with the Chiefs. They just have to be good enough and make plays when they have them, because they're going to score some points. But yeah, I don't see anyone beating the Chiefs in that division. Moving on to the AFC South. You have the Jacksonville Jaguars, Tennessee Titans, Indianapolis Colts, and Houston Texans. So the Texans and Colts, I think they will be improved. Well, the Texans will be improved. I'm not sure about the Colts. I don't know if the Colts have a clue what they're doing. If Jonathan Taylor is not going to be running the ball when you have a rookie quarterback coming in, and Anthony Richardson, who is very, very, very raw, all the talent in the world, but has no accuracy as a quarterback. He is in some good hands, because you have Shane Steichen as the head coach. Of course, Steichen was the offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles last year. Of course, we know the Eagles went to the Super Bowl. More on them in a minute. And Steichen helped Jalen Hurts get his stuff together. It's not that Jalen Hurts was struggling too mightily, but this guy was an MVP candidate, was the leader for the MVP up until a few weeks left in the season, and then Patrick Mahomes took over and won the MVP. But the Colts are devoid of weapons. They don't have weapons outside to throw for Anthony Richardson to throw to. And if Jonathan Taylor's not going to be there, they're probably going to struggle running the ball too. So the Colts, I think, are bringing up the rear. The Texans can surprise some people. I like what they're building there. They're building a strong defense with D'Amico Ryans as the head coach. Of course, he was the defensive coordinator for my team, the San Francisco 49ers, last year. But the Texans are still further away. So it's between the Jaguars and the Titans. And I think the Jacksonville Jaguars will win this division. Trevor Lawrence is going to continue to ascend. He's got weapons to throw to, ETN running the ball, Say Jones, and Christian Kirk catching. They re-signed Evan Ingram at tight end. So I think Jacksonville is poised to have a nice year. And I mean, they're coming off of a year that was probably a surprise, because they made it to the divisional playoff. They came back. We remember the comeback they had against the Chargers from 27-0 down in the wild card, and they gave the Chiefs all they could handle in the divisional playoffs. So I think the Jags are poised to do some things. But don't sleep on the Titans. They will be solid. I know people were kind of tired of Tennessee, but they just hang around. Mike Vrabel's one of the best coaches in the league. Derrick Henry's still running the ball. Their defense will be tough. It's just a matter of whoever's playing quarterback, whether it's Ryan Tannehill or Tannehill or Malik Willis or Will Levis, whoever it is, can they give consistent quarterback play? If they do, the Titans are as dangerous as anyone. But I think Jacksonville will win that division. The AFC North. This division is, to me, this is the toughest division in the league because I have no idea who is going to win this, and it's because all these teams are good. Between the Cincinnati Bengals, Baltimore Ravens, Pittsburgh Steelers, and Cleveland Browns, I do believe any one of these four teams can win the division. Cleveland, hey, look, you have Deshaun Watson, uh, just I guess under the radar, but we know how good he can be. If he is close to that level with the defense the Browns have, Cleveland's dangerous. The Steelers are dangerous too. They have a very well-rounded team, and they have Mike Tomlin as their head coach, who has never had a losing season since he took over back in 2007. The Ravens, you have Lamar Jackson. He's fully paid. Todd Monken, the offensive coordinator, in there, replacing Greg Roman. Monken comes from Georgia, where he was part of the coaching staff for the Bulldogs, winning 2 championships down there. And the defense, the Ravens always play defense. I don't really worry about their defense too much. And then you have Cincinnati with Joe Burrow throwing to Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, and underrated defense as well. So this was a tough one. I went back and forth, but I'm going to go slightly with the Cincinnati Bengals winning that division. Uh, like I said, this was a very, very tough one. I think this is the toughest division in all of football. A lot of people think it's the AFC East. I don't think it is. More on that in a minute, too. But yeah, I'm going to go Cincinnati slightly, but it wouldn't surprise me if Baltimore, Pittsburgh, or Cleveland won the division themselves. Uh, about the AFC East. So to me, I think it's clear cut. I know everybody's talking about the New York Jets, Aaron Rodgers coming to the squad, but I don't care. I don't think it's going to make any difference. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is that needle mover guy anymore. So to me, Buffalo is still the team to beat in that division, and they will win that division. I really don't have too much doubt about Buffalo winning the division. They still have Josh Allen. They still have a good offense. They still have a good defense. They have a good team. So I'm sure Buffalo doesn't mind being under the radar if everybody's going to talk about the Jets. But the Jets, to me, they could be third in that division because the Miami Dolphins, with that offense and them getting Jalen Ramsey and Vic Fangio as their defensive coordinator, with Jalen Ramsey pairing up with Xavier Howard to make a very good defensive back duo. Miami is going to be something to mess with too. So it wouldn't surprise me if the Jets were third in that division, and the Patriots won't be an easy team to deal with either. But I got Buffalo winning this division, hands down, really. Um, my wild cards in that division or in the conference, well, you know what? We'll wait. We'll wait. No, actually, no. Since we're on the AFC, I'll go ahead and I'll give the what my wild cards. To me, the wild cards I have the Dolphins winning one of those, and I have two coming out of the AFC North. I think the Ravens will get one, and I think the Steelers will get the other one as well. So, to recap, I have Kansas City, Jacksonville, Cincinnati and Buffalo winning the divisions, with Miami, Pittsburgh, and Baltimore claiming the wild cards in the AFC. Moving on to the NFC, let's start with the NFC East. I think it's pretty clear cut there. The Philadelphia Eagles, to me, will win the division. But that division could be pretty solid. You have to remember, 3 playoff teams came from that division when the Eagles, the Dallas Cowboys, and the New York Giants. And the Washington Commanders, they didn't make the playoffs, but I mean, they were there. They were in the mix up until the end of the season. Watch out for the Commanders, though, because they're gonna have. I mean, they just have just new life just because they got a new owner, Josh Harris, coming in and taking over for the toxic workplace that Daniel Snyder created. But I think Philadelphia will win the division hands down, and that's to me, it's pretty simple. I think the Eagles are the best team in there. I think Jalen Hurts will have another MVP type season. The defense will continue to get pressure on the quarterback, and I just don't see anybody knocking off the Eagles. The one thing I will say is this is a division. We have to remember the NFC East has not had a repeat winner in this division since the Eagles did it back in 2004. So that average says the either the Cowboys, the Commanders, or the Giants will win the division. But I think the Eagles will break that streak and they will repeat as champions. Moving on to the NFC North. So this is an interesting one because a lot of people like the Detroit Lions. This is the hot, trendy pick. The Lions have been so bad for so long, and they actually had a decent season last year. A lot of people are ready to see Detroit win this division. I am too, but I don't know if they will. Now, there's a lot of question marks, but a lot of potential in here too. Can Chicago take a step with Justin Fields as the quarterback? They did a good job in the draft, and they brought in some weapons, getting DJ Moore. They have Chase Claypool there. They have Cole Clement, the tight end. The Bears could be solid, maybe. The Green Bay Packers, they're moving on from the Aaron Rodgers era. Now Jordan Love is in there as the quarterback, and I think he can be pretty good there. The Packers still have a solid team. They have good young receivers. They have solid running backs with Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon, and they have a pretty good defense. So the Packers will still be dangerous. And the Vikings, well, I mean, the Vikings, they'll compete. I mean, look, they have Kirk Cousins as their quarterback. Everybody knows how I feel about Kirk Cousins. I think he is a good quarterback, but he's not anybody who's going to take you over the top. And the Vikings are regular season good. They never do anything in the playoffs anyway. But with that in mind, I think I'm still going to pick the Vikings slightly to win the division. I don't know if the Lions are going to do it. I hope they can do it. But I don't know if the Lions quite have enough right now to win the division. But if there's a year they're going to do it, this would be the year. Um, that's going to be an interesting division. Uh, but yeah, I'm gonna pick Minnesota to win that division, and Detroit might be a close second if they don't win it themselves. The NFC South, whew, boy. Um, take your pick between the New Orleans Saints, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Atlanta Falcons, and Carolina Panthers. On paper, it looks like the Saints have the best roster from top to bottom. Getting Derek Carr as the quarterback to stabilize things could be the edge the Saints need to win this division. Um, Atlanta, I like what they did in the offseason. We'll see how Desmond Ritter uh, pans out as the starter. But they have Bijan Robinson as their running back, and they have Kyle Pitts and Drake London to throw to. They're going to run the ball well. The defense has to improve for them. Carolina, Bryce Young playing quarterback. They have some weapons. Adam Thielen, DJ Shark, uh, Miles Sanders running the ball, and they have a pretty solid defense too. And Tampa Bay, they still have a lot of the players left from the team that won the Super Bowl in 2020. Obviously, Tom Brady is gone, and they're going to run with either Baker Mayfield or Kyle Trask. I guess it's Baker Mayfield. Good luck with that. But yeah, take your pick and just kind of close your eyes and swing. Look, I really don't know who's gonna win this division. Y'all guesses are as good as mine. So I'll just go ahead and say, um, I'll I'll give the edge to the Saints. I think the Saints will have just enough to pull it out. Of course, the Panthers are my nephew's team. The Falcons, of course, is Patrick's team. It wouldn't surprise me if any one of those teams won the division, but I'll give a slight edge to the Saints. And then in the NFC West, I think it's clear cut for the San Francisco 49ers to win that division. Um, and then the rest of them, the Seattle Seahawks, Los Angeles Rams, Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals, they might be competing for the number one pick in next year's draft. I don't think they're going to be good at all. I don't think the Rams are going to be that great at all. They're just they're old team with not a lot of depth now. And I just don't see them being a threat to do much of anything. If there is anybody who will compete with the 49ers, I think it will be Seattle with Pete Carroll coaching them. Geno Smith had a good year, and I think he's poised to have another one. He's got weapons, DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. They have a defense. They did good in the draft. Seattle's going to be solid. And so look out for them. I think if anyone's going to threaten the 49ers, it would be the Seahawks. The Rams and Cardinals, I don't see much at all from them. Wild cards. I'm going to give one to the Cowboys. Um, I think they will get double-digit wins. They won't do anything in the playoffs as usual, but they'll get one of the wild cards. Um, I think the Commanders are going to get one of the wild cards because there's just new life there. Like I said, that when you have new ownership bringing excitement to the area and to the team, that can make a huge difference. There's actually excitement again around the Commanders, and I think that's going to make a big difference for them, and it will carry them to a wild card. And for the final wild card, whoo, I think I'm gonna give it to Seattle. I almost gave it to Detroit. I almost did. But I think Seattle is a team on the rise, and I think just with Pete Carroll just being there, being the coach that he is, he has the players believing. So I think the wild cards there will be, yeah. So Seattle, Washington, Dallas will get the wild cards, with the division winners being Philadelphia, Minnesota, New Orleans, and San Francisco. So that is what I'm breathing on for today. Y'all make sure y'all check out the Breath of Fresh Air YouTube channel, smash that subscribe button, and follow the Breath of Fresh Air Facebook page. Of course, your feedback is valued, and let me know who your picks are, good, bad, indifferent, whether you agree or disagree. Just let me know. Patrick should be coming out with his picks later on in the week. But until then, everybody take care. Hope you enjoyed the college football from this weekend or last weekend, and get ready for the start of the NFL season. So until next time, everybody take care. Hope you had a great Labor Day and have a great rest of the week.